Who would have ever thought that amongst all of this, you could also find this? Join me for another Out of Delta experience. I'm your host, Stu Donald. Let's head to the Delta. Today we are in South Mobile County in an area known as the Theodore Industrial Complex. It's an area with a lot of plants, specifically chemical plants, and other forms of modern progress. But there's a special place right down the road. All right, cool adventure today. We're checking out Muddy Creek Wetlands. We're in the south end of the county, actually in a place called the Theodore Industrial Complex. I'll tell you more about that in just a minute. Quite a few cars here today. Alright, got my all trails going. Let's see what we can find. This is the trailhead. Let's get out of this sunlight, shall we? There we go. This is going to be a longleaf pine forest right here. Look at all the butterflies. For those of you unfamiliar, these yellow flowers out here are goldenrods. When my dad was growing up, that was the official state flower of Alabama. Today it is a camellia, which is actually not indigenous to the state of Alabama. It comes from Japan, I believe. If you see the black there towards the bottom of these pine trees, that's because they do controlled burns out here to keep all this undergrowth under control. This stuff not being kept in check is what causes forest fires. And much cooler here in the shade. And there's just a trail marker. I believe it's telling us to go that way. Oh no, there we go. Oh, now that's an honest to goodness trail right there. Yeah. Man, I just love being in the woods. What makes wetlands wet? I was going to say water. Water, of course, but it's not that simple. According to the Alabama Port Authority's Facebook page, the Port Authority began plans to construct Muddy Creek in 1996. The program was designed to restore wetlands and coastal plain habitat along the Muddy Creek Basin, running through the 200 acres of ASPA-held land. In addition to restoring the wetlands, the program sought to remove and control invasive plant species choking out native longleaf and slash pines, tupelo gum, sweet bay, magnolia, and coastal plain grass. Today, this national award-winning program controls a long list of invasive, exotic plants once threatening the site and offers over 2 miles of walking trails and boardwalks. So here we are, right there. Ooh, a swamp. Ooh, and a beaver pond. Oh.
Well, this is nice. Oh, this is beautiful. Wow. This is cool. Oh, look at the lizard. Beautiful lizard. All right. The actual muddy creek. Aptly named. Beautiful. Look at that little guy. As the sign said at the entrance, this is a stop on the Alabama birding trail. In fact, when I first arrived, there was a couple coming out, and the gentleman had a camera with a giant lens on it out here for that very reason. Yopon Holly. Splashes of pink and orange in amongst all these goldenrods. It's just beautiful. What is a big pine tree? Man. Look at this. Wow. There's an idea how big that fella is.
Muddy Creek Wetlands, to me, is a great example of something that I say all the time. Conservation and progress can coexist. It doesn't have to be one or the other. This tract of land was set aside to make up for all of the acreage that destroyed, if you will, creating the Theodore Industrial Canal. Those 200 acres were destroyed, so we set aside 200 acres for nature to return. That's the best of both worlds. So we're almost to the halfway point there. Let's keep going.
Look at the fungi on the side of this tree. Huh. That's neat. If you're a fun guy, let us know what that is in the comment section. Looks like we're at the turnaround point. Let's see where we are on this map. All right. Beaver pond.
The Muddy Creek Wetlands Management Area consists of 200 acres of restored wetlands and adjacent uplands managed by the Alabama State Port Authority to mitigate for construction impacts on the Theodore Channel. In cooperation with the Alabama Department of Corrections, restoration actions included clearing rubbish, removing invasive, non-native plants, replanting over 20,000 native trees and shrubs, erecting 80 nest boxes, and building an extensive trail system. The National Award-winning mitigation project features a 2.3-mile easy-to-walk interpretive trail that traverses through several distinct habitats, offering excellent birding opportunities throughout the year. The upland portions are a reliable place to find northern bobwhite, eastern wood pewee, prairie warbler, and blue gooseback, or grosbeck. I'm not sure. The trail then leads to a long boardwalk over Muddy Creek and adjacent bottomland forest. Scan the bald cypresses, hardwoods, and wetland shrubs for an assortment of vireos, warblers, and resident species. Eventually, the trail winds to a large beaver impoundment along the northern end of the tract where wood duck, common yellowthroat, and northern parula are common. This area is open to the public daily during daylight hours and closes at dark. That information comes from the Alabama Land Conservation Assistance Network.
Looks like the beaver pond is more of a beaver puddle right now. I used to have a little cottage on the delta up on Stilt Creek, and at night you could walk down to the creek, and as the beavers heard you approaching, they would signal to other beavers that you were there by splashing their tail on the water. And man, that will get your attention because it sounds like someone just took a ton of bricks and tossed them into the water. There we go, there's the turnaround point. Oh, we go that way? No, it's this way. Yeah, that arrow's not... Don't follow that arrow, y'all. This is the actual trail here. See? These, I believe, are American beauty berries. You can see why they're called beauty berries. They are beautiful. And as I recall, they are edible, but not necessarily something you want to eat. Just something you could. But their juice was used by the indigenous people as a dye for fabrics and stuff. There are two categories of edible plants. Those that you want to eat and those that you can eat, but probably don't want to. Beautiful natural arch here. See a trail. Somebody's been out here on a mountain bike. I bet this would be fun. Need to get my stump jumper up and running. Start doing some biking through these trails. There's a lot of good biking trails here along the Delta. And some horse trails too, but I don't have a horse, and I'm pretty sure Luke wouldn't want me riding him. There's a trail marker, so yep, we are still on the right trail. Wow, look at that root system. The way that is leaning, I'm willing to bet that that happened during a hurricane. As the Gulf is that way, so the winds would have been coming this way. Cool oak right there. Some people are born with a poor sense of direction, and some people are born with a good sense of direction. And I am lucky to be the latter. And I don't know, I think it's got to be some kind of sensitivity to magnetic fields, because I can be dropped just about anywhere, and within a moment or two I can just tell what direction north is in. Currently I'm headed south. Although this is a wetland, and at the front of the trail there was a bit of a swamp, and of course Muddy Creek itself and that beaver puddle, I don't think alligators would really be an issue here. But snakes are a different story. I'm fairly certain you'll run into a number of non-venomous, but the odd cottonmouth or copperhead would not surprise me either. So I'm following the trail as the arrows tell me. But people that get out and backpack in unexplored areas or hike through nature that, you know, there's not a lot of trail signage, will tell you to stop about every mile or so and turn around and look at the direction you just came, because it looks totally different and will help you reorient yourself on your return trip. I don't have to worry about it now, but point being, if you've got a trail like this one, it's my first time here, seeing it for the first time, well, I can experience that all over again by coming back some other time and just hiking the trail backwards. Would be a totally different hike that way. Naturally, some landmarks would stand out, like this glorious tree right here. Look at this. But, you know, just taking the trail through the general bramble probably would look much different. And different's always good. The rainiest month of the year here in South Alabama, one of the rainiest parts of the entire country, is July. Oddly enough, August and September and October tend to be three of the driest months. So I'm thinking, come here in July, and that beaver pond would actually be a pond. Of course, these trails would also be mud. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Wow. Oh, another boardwalk. Before you earn it getting to it, look at all these roots on the ground leading up to it. Alright, here we are. This is our last boardwalk. And we'll be out of here soon. That looks like a dry creek bed there. Like I say, in the rainy months, that's probably, if not flowing, at least moist. Beautiful. That is stunning. Cool. Now the path totally changes. Look at that. Check all trails. Almost back to where we came, where we split off. There's another blue lizard. All of this fungus, fungusy stuff. Some kind of mushroom. When I was a kid, we used to call those lizards racing lizards because it looked like they had racing stripes down them. There's another one that gets bigger than those, and it's black with yellow stripes. But we called both of them racing lizards. Just one was a blue racing lizard, the other one was a black racing lizard. In the home stretch here, I expect to turn around the corner any moment and see what the two trails converge again. Ooh, pretty cardinal. Look at them all up in here. That was a female there. They're not red. Only the males are red. Wow. Look at them. Probably the coolest section of this little hike right there. A little arbor. Well, I'm not gonna lie, that's a fantastic little hike. But I am glad to be back here at the parking lot. It's time to go hunt some grub. I'm at one of the most famous restaurants in the Mobile area, Dick Russell's Barbecue. Now sure, Dick Russell's has great barbecue, and that's what I'm going to get today. But they also have one of the best, biggest burgers you'll ever eat, great fried seafood, and probably the best breakfast in the Mobile area.
trough of barbecue sauce. Cannot wait for you to see these onion rings. Probably the best I have ever had. Into the trough of barbecue sauce. I don't usually do dessert, but the waitress tempted me with good old peach cobbler and vanilla ice cream.
Reach down there and push that subscribe button and the like button. Just like it. At least click it one time.